Yes, I just went live.
Yes, buddy.
Yes, my friend. Say hello to Alice.
Hello, Alice. I take it we're not getting started just right off.
Nah, I just went ahead and started the live stream so I could send links out.
Right. All right.
In fact, I'm going to mute my audio for a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick out for a second. So.
Ah, fooled you and myself. That's how sneaky I am.
That's sneaky. Like, oh yeah, she's the responsible one. It's like, oh, so you can have another drink. You can have another one.
I'll be in shortly.
That's a second.
Okay,
Perfect time.
all right. We are live. Welcome to the 8th monthly consecutive cinema club. I'll just introduce everyone real quick and then hand it over to Lazy, our esteemed host. So to my left, we have Miss Raven Zinn of Adiractic. Thanks for being here.
No problem.
And then on this side of the couch, we have Nick, also of Adiractic. Also, thanks for being here. Also, you chose the movie tonight, Eyes Without a Face. It was very fun. It was a fun movie. We'll get into it here in a bit. But y'all have, what's the latest? You have a demo out for one of your songs, just came out.
Yeah.
Oh, her organs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, go stream that on Bandcamp.
Hopefully in full production within the next couple months. Low Fig, our first one in Little Miss Misery should be done within the next 6 months to a year. So 3 bangers in a row and then another 2 years of nothing. So
Hell
very
yeah.
excited.
Well, what they do have, you can find on Bandcamp, go stream that. And then we have Mr. David Pinna, that's Knife Back on Instagram, our resident visual artist. Thank you. You chose the book this month.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of ending things. We'll be talking about that next week, I think. And then we have Miss Laura Rose, the great powerful. Thanks for being here. Do you have anything coming up you want to promote?
Well, I think I figured out my new band's name today.
Oh shit.
What do
It's
you
kind
have?
of a big deal because I usually can't do stuff like that. I'm not gonna tell you.
No.
You have to pay for that.
To be announced.
For that peak. Or tune in next week. Maybe
Hell
we'll
yeah.
find out. No,
That's hype.
and then I just finished another song with my friend Alex Smith and Ryan Bowie. And I'm trying to get those songs recorded and for the code for these.
Hell
Because I
yeah.
like to help. I have a lot of ideas. So, but yeah, it's a different genre for me. So I'm excited about
Cool.
it. And it's really good.
Hell yeah. Alex Smith from Eastern?
I
Do you
don't
work at
know who
Eastern?
that is. No.
Okay, different one.
Who's that
Different guy. Okay. And then joining us from the satellite, we have the Neef as well. Thanks for being here.
Hey, y'all. Hello, Alice.
Anything in particular you want to plug?
I mean, there's pretty much everything that most everybody knows going on is going to get plugged that I'm working in right now. I could sit here for 20 minutes and run through what is going on now. So,
Okay. Relinquish your time.
yeah.
And then I will hand it over to Lazy Phalanges, the host of the Cinema Club.
All right.
Thanks for this congregating us together.
You're welcome.
And thanks for pasta. Lazy made pasta.
Yay.
Yeah.
More
So I figured we'd start off with Nick, because you recommended this. Just sort of what was, I guess, like how long ago was the first time you saw it, that kind of thing, and what do you think, what stood out to you about the movie, why you recommended it?
Okay, so little backstory about the movie. The movie is one of the first exploitation movies. This goes right after Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Like blood and breast and all that was not big on television at the time. However, the French were big into what was called the Mondo movies, if anybody remembers that, where you venture across the world and you see cannibals and elephants dying, just weird, bizarre things. So the French were always a little more adventurous. And so they created the original exploitation movies with the Mondo, which then translated slightly into the horror genre, which brings us into our movie here, which if you compare this to movies like Psycho, we got a little bit more like gore just a little bit more. You know, we saw a little bit more action, a little bit more like we're kidnapping women, just horrific ideas coming on. So it's relatively tame compared to what we're mostly used to now. Please remember in the sentiment of a 1960s person going to a theater, this was terrifying.
Yeah, I can definitely see that at the time.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I mean, there was some pretty jarring scenes in there. Like when she gets chloroformed, that was like,
Oh, that's
like
You jumped in.
Yes,
man.
yes.
you like I knew it was coming. Like I knew that was gonna happen,
Not like that. I
Oh,
just,
but
no.
not like that. And I guess that's kind of the
Ready.
point, right? Like,
Yeah.
Gotcha, witch, and
yeah.
immediate.
Like you expected, like she drinks something and just slowly.
I thought it would like slowly.
A slow burn 15-minute scene kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Oh, here's your room. Here's the.
Yeah.
But don't forget, the 15 minutes was just the drive
Leading up to the
get
house.
her there.
Yeah.
So we already had to get that pacing back
Sure.
on track. We've talked about it before. My dad grew up in Chicago during the grindhouse era of American cinema, where they were pirating, radioing movies all over the country for local movie theaters. So I just grew up with this. It wasn't particularly in a hipster way. I just remember like all weird kids watching Dark Crystal, and next thing you know, I'm a horror fanatic. I don't know the connection, don't know why, but Jim Henson just has a way of doing that to people. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. I think you described it as very pleasant.
It was yeah, it was like surprisingly one of the least controversial films we've done. And what I mean by that is I can't see anyone watching it and having a problem with it. Like for a modern audience, it is very just like there's nothing to poke holes at. Acting's great, cinematography is great. It was a very concise story, like it resolved. It is super solid, just great movie.
It didn't really feel like it came off as pretentious. We
No.
got a very quick story, in my opinion. It wasn't the greatest story ever, but also we watched worse things. We talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
worse things. And this was just a nice little adventure.
Yeah.
Other than that theme song at the beginning, that took
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
20 minutes to resolve.
Yeah, I really liked the soundtrack, except that song. They used it multiple times, and it was kind of like the theme, but it was very hokey,
It's a very wonky
very
song.
silly.
It's definitely like the woman's theme. It's very circusy.
Yeah, yeah, it followed around Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think at the time they didn't really know how to portray a woman as horrifying yet. So when they were like, we need a score that shows tension and a little bit, and they were like, oh, let's put circus music and make it really bouncy, but slight detune on everything to give a little bit of a tension note on it. And it didn't quite work the way we all wanted it to.
The rest of the soundtrack was great though.
Amazing.
Like the scene where I guess the protagonist of the story, the one without the face,
Mhm.
when she's walking around the house, and it's just very slow, like, and you see the mask, but it's also just like different areas of the house, and that establishing stuff.
Almost the German expressionist, like dark shadows
Yeah.
everywhere and very light on the horror, and we're just building tension almost.
Yeah, it was very haunting. Like that, I remember that song being really good.
Did you have any more questions for me though? We can.
So you saw the movie first.
Oh, well, I first saw the movie probably in the late 90s. I think I saw it on a Saturday Night Fright kind of thing. I don't want to say Joe Bob Briggs. He is one of my personal heroes, but I don't think it was Joe Bob Briggs. It just came on a Saturday night once.
Hell yeah.
And the way that, your first anime, porn, or horror movie comes on, and well, now you're a freak for the rest of your life.
Well,
Is that the first horror movie that you saw, or first like?
No. I got into this as a whole. We need to move on. This is gonna be all George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, because of the copyright issue that everyone could play that movie on any channel. He had no copyrights for it or trademark or whatever you want to call it.
That was his
So-
choice.
No, he got scammed. He got scammed
Oh.
hard. So every channel was just like Night of the Living Dead constantly. I mean, every single weekend, Night of the Living Dead was playing on one channel somewhere in a city somewhere.
So- Is this a movie that immediately stood out to you, or is it something that over the years you kind of came back to?
Yeah,
good question.
I kind of feel like a hipster a little bit. I've watched all kinds of horror and weird movies. I like slow burns. I like tension. My same thing for my music. I like soft melodic notes that build into something and you can feel the ramp up. This movie is like that in a lot of ways, almost too slow burn, almost. But then we get the scenes like the chloroform or the sudden like demasking, and it's there and it pays off.
Yeah.
I would say I watch most of the movies when I'm just sitting at home, just chilling and trying to vibe with some music or a puppy dog or something, are movies like this. This is what I usually enjoy. If it's too much action, it's too much exploitation or horror or anything, like who wants to sit there in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. hearing like just nonstop a woman being murdered, almost incredibly misogynistic. Who gets off on just listening to that for hours? That seems horrific in my opinion. But something like this where it's still horrific, but you have that moment of silence is much more of a vibe for like relaxing, stretching, whatever you want to do.
But I believe outside of yourself, I believe this is everyone else's first time seeing this movie.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So I'd like to just kind of go around and get everybody's initial impressions of what they thought before we delve into any specific topics about the movie. So starting with David.
I mean, wait, to be fair, I haven't seen that much like horror from that time era. But I feel like I just have this general idea that most of it being very campy, it kind of like it hasn't aged well or whatever. So I would say this movie's a lot like an A24 horror movie, but done like in that time period. Where it's like kind of classy, you know what I mean? Like compare that to what else was like playing at the time, like Creatures in the Black
Rosemary's
Lagoon,
Baby.
like-
This would predate that, but Rosemary's Baby comes to mind of another slow burn, like fucking like gut wrenching, but like not too visual or hokey.
Was this around the same time as like the Hitchcock movies? at
Yes.
all?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
within like a
Hitchcock
5-year
also.
period of each other.
That's another good example of that like old school horror.
Yeah, that rear window, very slow burn kind of feel to it. You couldn't show no gore, no nothing on television, so they had to make that tension last for an hour and 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah,
Effective.
because this movie was actually censored in America.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah, and they even gave it like, it wasn't until 23 that it got re-released in its original format. They even gave it a completely different name.
Really?
And everything.
Yeah, a whole different name that didn't have anything.
Nothing to
with
do
it.
with it. Yeah, no.
The something Dr. Faustus or something like that. There was
Something
no Dr.
horror
Faustus.
room, horror room something.
Yeah.
And they censored the operation of the first girl he took into the, where he cut up her face or whatever.
yeah.
They censored that section. And they also censored a section where the doctor is like talking to the lady who was like being used as like a
The honey trap.
the honey trap. Yeah, there's a point where like apparently he was being almost nice to her or something, and the American censorship thought that we don't want to make bad guys look slightly good, so they censored that.
Oh yeah, we don't want police being nice to people. We gotta cut that out.
American
It's gonna
censorship
build
has,
unrealistic expectations for people.
American censorship has had some hilarious unintended consequences.
Yeah.
They also, and what's funny is the director was talking about they had to censor certain things for different regions. So for example, for Germany, they couldn't upplay the mad scientist stereotype because apparently that's banned in German, and at least in this time period.
How do you do that movie without that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, apparently it passed in Germany, but apparently you can't play it too hard because that's offensive to the German populace.
Because they're
Well,
mad
they
scientists.
both seemed like they both kind of were mad, just not like mad.
Not campy mad. Like it can't be like the whole Frankenstein mad scientist thing.
It's
So,
alive.
remember in the like, I don't know what it's called, but where they were like taking the body or something, and then the one woman.
So the ravine, the water
Is
ravine.
that what it's called? I don't
Yeah.
know, but there was like some tension for sure between the two.
Oh, you're talking about when they're taking the body to the crypt. Yeah, and they're opening up the thing.
Spooky word.
Yeah, and yeah, he like slaps her. Yeah, that was
Yes.
that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, see, that's a perfect example, because I was like, whoa. when that
Yeah.
happened.
Like, god damn.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
can't show mad scientists, but we can show some good old fashioned girlfriend beating
Oh my
apparently.
Yeah, and she's just like, okay, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Laura, did you have any thoughts about movie just in a general sense?
Well, I felt a lot of tension throughout all the stairs scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of tension. But no, like my first thought when watching, as you refer to her as the protagonist, weirdly enough, especially like not because of the mask, but while the mask was on for sure, I thought of my grandmother.
Hmm.
And not in like a creepy like weapons.
That's
old
weird. I
lady
thought of your
way.
grandmother too.
Did you? What's her name? No. Like the hair and her size and just her like, yeah, kind of like her carefulness, like her hesitant carefulness. Not that that's really like a good thing, but it just really I couldn't stop thinking about my grandma.
Kind of like a throwback to a different time, maybe.
The hairstyle,
Okay.
fragile frame
The
of
tiny bob haircut on
Yes.
either side. Very, very much a time period where every woman weighed 110 pounds. And if you weighed a pound more, you were considered obese for the
It
time.
was like came out in 1960.
She looks like you could pick her up and just throw her
Yeah.
like 100 yards.
I think
Like,
I
it's
could.
not
Easy.
For sure.
Easily 300 yards.
I do think there is a very interesting historical context to older movies because this would be, unless I have my dates wrong, that would be 14 years after the end of World War II.
Hmm.
And France was obviously very directly like occupied.
Hmm.
So I do think it is always interesting to see what the culture moved toward following that in terms of like, yeah, I think that's also part of the sort of puritanical nature, you say, of in America, of it being like, well, a lot of people came back from horrific things. They don't want to watch a movie that recreates those things. I'm always curious about like, oh, this would have been horrible for ICE at that time. Yeah, but also a lot of people at that time literally saw things that were worse.
Hmm.
So there's sort of an interesting.
They don't have like
Not
a,
having the gore and whatnot, and
Yeah,
it being
yeah.
more psychological build-up thriller type of deal.
that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about that. It's like it's a different audience now that is like disassociated from violence. Whereas like if you went through that, maybe you don't ever want to see that ever again.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know, you can imagine that there's definitely some soldiers that are like, I've seen people missing their face.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, not for me.
I just,
Yeah.
just unlocked a memory. Don't know why the movie itself didn't unlock a memory, but I have seen that before. Yeah,
Someone missing their face.
yeah, someone with their face just kind of, yeah.
Why'd you do that?
It was actually
It's
it
because
was
she's German.
It's fucked up.
don't say that. Anyway, like it was, they were on the side of the road and we were just like driving past and this woman was like running from a homeless camp and her face was just like somebody just decided they wanted to commit violence that day.
How old were you?
Where was
Raven?
this?
How old were you?
I honestly, it was, I want to say a few years ago because it feels like that, but it's probably like 5-6 years ago. Or something like that.
Where was this?
It was in Nashville somewhere,
What the fuck?
like Antioch, Nashville.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's it was next to a
Homeless
hotel.
woman gets face
Like
cut
there
off.
was a hotel, and they were already like having like they already
You
had
might
somebody
find it.
try to like break into
I'm
people's like
taking that half
rooms
shot
and
right now.
stuff like that, and that was the dude
It got
that
a
did it.
little spicy.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say something like
No,
you know,
no,
in
no.
a hospital or something.
oh no, no.
Wow.
no, this was like
That's
out of the wild.
intense.
That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever have bad dreams?
No, and the reason is, growing up in this internet age, people would send me stuff.
Hmm.
And it, whole thing prompted us all as friends, look up things on the internet and be weird and edgy and dumb.
You're saying that's not the worst thing you've seen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I feel you.
Yeah, so like continuing
yeah.
on because sorry.
No,
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say to that though, I do think there's an interesting thing with, at least I personally really appreciate in movies when they do more with tension.
Yeah.
And when they don't show things,
Yeah.
because I think that there is a little bit of a, especially I think your point with the internet of like a desensitization of the visual part of it,
Mhm.
where people start disconnecting from what that actually means
Yeah.
of life.
And even having like seen that before,
Hmm.
like I said, block it out of my memory.
Right.
But even having seen that before and things like that, this movie was actually like the slow burn, the not showing as much kind of thing, but showing just enough.
Hmm.
I still like I felt more from this movie than I do from like most horror movies today because they show too much. They don't make you feel anything for the characters, anything. So, yeah.
So we do have two cases. In 2024, a homeless woman was attacked with a machete and was missing about half her face.
That was her. I'm pretty sure.
We also have the gentleman, and I think everyone's heard of this guy, but I don't know if we've ever talked about it, who is missing half of his head on Broadway.
I do remember that
That's a
one.
thing.
Yes,
I didn't-
he was going around for like a year or two, and he's just
Quick,
missing.
quick morbid side note, I'm actually know the girl who was attacked with a machete.
Oh, wow.
Small world.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
man.
what my parents did too. It's crazy.
Huh.
Bad situation, but anyway.
Yeah, we're not trying to fixate on it,
Yeah.
but it was a case in 2024
Yes.
about it.
Yes, and that would have been about the time I saw it. Like we actually reported it.
Wow.
It was bad. But anyway, moving
A
on.
lot of
to-
crazy shit happens in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a small town anymore.
Yeah.
In the big leagues. We got crocodile here now. And,
What?
what is that stuff they got in South Africa?
Crocodile.
No, what's the one with the balloon in South Africa?
Balloon.
You ferment it.
Oh, you're talking about Jinkum.
Jinkum.
What?
Let's
I
get
was
us some
there. I don't
Jacob.
know about this. I was been to South Africa.
Yeah. They take
You weren't cool enough for them to tell you.
What is it?
They take
Yeah, that's how
chemicals
it's
and feces and stuff, and they put it in a bottle, and then they put a balloon on top of it, and the dangerous carcinogenic fumes go into the balloon, and then you go and suck it in. And apparently, it is one of the strongest highs you could ever have. You can do this at home too.
Oh my goodness.
Try it
Don't
out.
do it. No.
I didn't have Jinkum on my bingo card for things we'd get into.
Yeah, I just noticed
I can't believe I didn't know about that.
Yeah, why
I
did
thought
why
for
did why
sure
did you
the
not
tour
know
guide
about that?
company would have told me that was
Yeah,
big
why
there.
why did my tour guide give me Jinkum?
Like this is it. I know a spot.
Wow.
Not a good tour guide. Can you show me?
Sorry, I don't want to focus on it, but I'm just curious. Do you know about like what people experience from it when they do?
They
it?
see God.
It is basically the
It
brain
brings them
damage.
closer to
What
God.
is that stuff? Galaxy gas, like the brain damage that you get from galaxy gas. But imagine it after a couple of doses of Jacob. It is such a strong carcinogenic, just instantly bad for you high
Oh.
that it actually makes people feel better because it kind of works in the same way that a lot of like pharmaceutical drugs work, where it causes chemical castration of different parts of the brain. So if you have bad feelings, the bad feelings don't exist anymore because you do enough Jinkum and get brain
Sensory
damage.
Yeah.
And so you just feel better. But you're also making yourself you're making your mental facilities retarded for all purposes.
Wow.
Like you are actually causing yourself brain damage. That is the point.
Yeah.
And it just gets you really, really high.
Highly recommended.
Maybe something else.
Crazy tangent. Sorry about
But
that,
no,
lazy.
that was
Please continue,
interesting.
dude.
All right, so to bring back the movie, Raven, did you have any general thoughts about the movie beyond what you just touched on?
General thoughts about the movie. I mean, I already kind of said it. Like it's more technically more tame than we would get now in terms of horror movies, but it's a lot more like you feel the tension, you feel everything, and you're not just sitting there watching someone get brutally murdered. Like, and you don't see everything. You see like things every once in a while. There are things that are brutal, but other times it's like slow burn. Like you see, like you see a lot of things, but not as much as you would for these now. So there you go.
I was gonna say, to jump off that slightly, to piggyback off that, I think part of what makes it work well is that the slow burn gives a feeling that it might not happen.
Yeah.
It's like she might get away
Yeah.
because it's taking longer.
Yes.
There's still this feeling that like,
Mhm.
and that creates the
The
tension.
fear of a thing is oftentimes a lot worse than the actual thing itself.
Right.
Like the dread, the
Yeah.
anticipation is always going to hit harder than like the actual thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's doubly true when you're anticipating a thing that might not happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I think what horror movies today get wrong is they do the whole like jump scare thing, and it's like you expect it. Like you have those moments of silence and then and it's always like that.
Mhm.
In this, it wasn't quite like that. You don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Alex's jump scare.
There was one
horrible.
jump scare that got me.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
But it-
You actually, all of us were pretty painfully aware of, like, we were not expecting that to happen so quickly. It was a good jump scare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like a very obvious jump scare though. Like you're not expecting it to happen right
Did not
there.
see that coming.
But we thought he was gonna take him upstairs. It was like, oh, let's show you the room kind of maybe vibe, and then we're gonna kidnap her. I was right there with you. I just don't realize, you were so flamboyant on your.
This is
yelp.
kind of like this is a morbid thought, but it's also realistic. Like she's picking up that this is not a good situation,
Yeah.
and she didn't have time to really think much more about it.
No,
Right.
she did start picking up on it when I watched this a second time, and I noticed that the woman who was luring her in made a mistake. The girl asked
Fucking rookies.
the girl was like, how many dogs are there? And instead of answering her
She shivered.
question, she said, see, you'll be protected. And it's like, answer the question.
Yeah, people feel
So
Yeah, now she's suspicious.
more relaxed when you are actually open and inviting,
Yeah,
being dismissive.
yeah, dismissing
that's
the
how I
question.
put it.
Well, if I can lead us maybe into a small segment, would that be okay?
Yeah, sure. We
Oh,
still,
well, do we want
we
to
still-
let
we
Alex?
still have Alex and Neve, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
can,
It went on with Raven's point there. The two things I wanted to say was one, the way that he quickly did the chloroform shows practice. Because this is much telling to serial killer culture, which was starting to pick up in the 60s and the 70s. And the one thing that serial killers learned to do was refine their craft. You don't just quickly chloroform a woman unless you have found that women like to run. So then at a certain point, he is starting to pick up through their behavior of kidnapping women. When is the more appropriate time to chloroform? When does that little part of his brain kick off that says she's going to try to run and be afraid? Or I'm picking up on the fear. This is about the time
You're saying
where she freaks out.
They've done this before,
So many
which we know,
times, yes.
which we know is
Yes.
true. We
But
know they
it's
did.
weird watching the actual tangible results of that training. He's gotten
It is
so good at it.
Both of them, her too.
I-
Like she knows who to get,
Yep.
like who's vulnerable.
I'm talking to her, so I'm gonna distract her, and then snatch, we
Yeah.
got her, and
I do think there's also an interesting element throughout the movie that, and this also like when he's cutting the face off where he's sweating profusely and she isn't. Where I wonder if he's so abrupt because of how uncomfortable he is with it also. So it's like he couldn't possibly talk to the woman beforehand because if he got to know her, he would, like, he knows what he's doing is wrong. And so he tries to avoid it as much as
have
possible.
you also considered that might be sexual arousal? You were pointing out something about World War II only being 14 years before, and this this kind of similarly, he kind of has that Nazi-esque mad scientist to him that we already said Germany banned the movie because they don't like that. I'm saying he might actually just
That's
get
an
off on
interesting
doing this to.
I did not consider that. That's very interesting.
It's possible.
So that this might not just be him being tense as much as like, also listen to the way he talks about himself. Of course I could do it. I'm so good. Like he's got an ego.
And
Have you ever seen Human Centipede?
Yes.
Similar
kind of
thing,
same thing,
similar
I
thing
guess.
to that.
the only
I've
thing he
never
always
seen
wants
that.
to be in control. So
Also, those
Good-
dogs that
good
he
time.
has are there for him to
Family friendly.
experiment on. That's what he's doing
Hmm.
throughout the
So
movie.
we also
Yeah.
maybe have
Yeah.
coincidences with animal torture
Mhm.
in there.
Yeah, it's unspoken, like you don't see it, but he's definitely like doing this with dogs, which is
You see it one time.
Like
Really?
you see,
Yeah.
well, you see a dog that has
A dog.
clearly the fur of another.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I
And
don't
he's
remember
like
that.
heading it
Yeah.
real quick, and it's assumed that they just got done experimenting on the
So
dog.
he's probably using the dogs to experiment his like transferring of like flesh to other flesh.
Unforgivable.
I mean, that kind of man is not gonna have all those dogs just for charity or for like.
No.
But
And always in the cage.
but anyways, you said it was Alice's, and then
oh yeah, Alex, do you have
Yes.
some general?
Kind of like what you were saying, it's like the psychological, I felt like a similar thing with, like, we recently just did Come and See, a famous Russian exploitation film in World War II. And then we like did Passion of the Christ a few months later. Passion of the Christ hit me so hard, and it's because you invest in this character. You already, if you are in society, you're aware of this character, you're aware of this story, and it like conveys that story in a very like gets you invested in this character. So while Come and See was technically more brutal, kind of like what you're saying, like you invest in it because I don't know, you like the character, right?
Mhm.
I feel like this is a similar thing where while the things that are shown to you are not as graphic as like things that come after it, it has a way of affecting you. Like you feel for her, you feel for these characters, right? Because it takes the time to invest you in what's going on. I think all of the establishing shots and just like establishing shots of characters, like getting to know these characters, they really did a lot. You may not think a lot's happening, but like these slow builds are doing something. And then like before you realize it, you're like invested in this story, you know?
like you mentioned Human Centipede. You don't remember any of those people that were used as like.
Yeah, I mean, all that happens like right in the beginning. So they're just kind of there, you know?
Yeah, but there's no buildup where you actually get to know them. Like in
Yeah.
this movie,
Yeah.
the girls are like, there's like a process of them being brought over where that's clearly like extended and like.
Yeah, you can really empathize with them.
Yeah.
Especially like the one girl, like she's not totally innocent. She was a shoplifter.
Yeah.
Like she's like, she didn't even really show any remorse for what
Let's
she
say,
had done.
isn't she actually portrayed kind of in a bratty way almost?
Yeah,
Like you're supposed to.
She's
kinda
not, she's
dislike
very
her.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very human, but that even almost makes her more empathetic. Like where you're like, this is a real human. She's not perfect, right? Like all of those, yeah. Beyond that, I just thought everything was spectacular, particularly some of the scene outside the house, in the cemetery, inside the house, just beautiful. Beautiful movie, beautiful soundtrack. Just no notes. This is a great movie.
Then Neef, did you have any thoughts? Is he still with us?
Neef's around somewhere.
We might have to come back to Neef.
Yep, I'm here.
He's here.
Neef, you got any thoughts about the movie overall? General thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of what y'all were hitting on, I can very much agree with. I haven't watched an old, and I say old like black and white film like that in quite some time. And just on that note alone, there's something about older films when they didn't have the technology to just kind of overdrive everything, you know. And they absolutely had to rely on story. They had to rely on actors that knew how to become a character well enough to absorb you. And the fact that it was, you know, it's you got to subtitle it and read it, but you're still completely drawn into this thing really denotes, you know, that it is a well done film. Just overall, just in general as a movie. Um, it's good to see. It was good to see like where a lot of the early horror, if you will, films kind of drew from, because watching it, you keep reminding yourself that a lot of these things were probably never done before in a film. You know, um, and then you've also got one of the things that some older films show almost more by accident, because you had more limited people getting together to make these films. So you end up with, like, you know, it's a horror film, but you had some really great cinematographic shots in there. You know, Hitchcock's known for that, really, where it's like, you know, it's a suspense. He writes a lot of suspense and horror, if you will. But when you watch how it's um, executed on the screen, there's so much more depth in his style and what he's doing, you know. And I felt a lot of that with this film. And, you know, it's kind of like a fine line between directors and filmmakers being artsy or too artsy, you know, especially back then, because it was such a new thing and it was very, you know, everything was pushing the threshold and pushing new ground. But I was really, really impressed with it as a film in general, you know, and I never know what to take on, especially older films, because even, you know, they don't have, you never know what kind of budget they were working behind, what kind of studio, you know, and with that, you never know what kind of actors you're going to get, you know, and, but I mean, no, it really turned out like they just, I don't know a whole lot about French film history, so I don't know how famous these people were, how, you know, well renowned they were, but it was really, I found it to be just a really well done film. It was a cool story, you know, a lot like the older style sci-fi horror films, where it's the story itself can kind of, it's a little bit outlandish, but they don't give you so much detail that you have to worry about that. You know, it's not trying to be science fiction. It kind of hangs in fantasy. They didn't really have to get into how was he able to do this and why was it like this, and it kind of was a simple procedure if you really looked at it. And that was kind of funny, you know, as a joke watching it, going, wow, you know, this is really simplistic, but really that's them saying that wasn't the point of the film. That wasn't the point of the story. There's so much more going on in here that it really didn't matter. You know, much like they didn't have to be as graphic, and they were actually being probably much more graphic than most people back then. You know, just for a little bit of the value of the shock, and, you know, look at these techniques and, you know, how real we can make this look for the time. But a lot of psychological horror and suspense is so much more about this show don't tell, you know. And um by that you're not actually even showing everything, you know. You hint at things, you make things assumed, and you can do it just enough to get the point across, but still leave enough question in there to be like, but what if that's not the case in that situation, you know? So, you know, they really well done with balance. I really enjoyed it as a, you know, sitting down film. A lot of the films we watch, I enjoy for the effect or the learning of it. Not always do I just enjoy them as a just to watch a film, you know. And this one I really did. I was really impressed by it. Just, you know, how much I really liked it, especially it being old and French. So, you know, I can't go too much deeper than y'all have already touched on. There's a lot of room in there to assume the writer was getting these things across, you know, and whether or not they were, you know, who knows, but that's what makes a great story, you know. So, yeah, I really dug it.
Oh, for sure. Touch on a little bit of what you're saying. I think one of the things that's very interesting about the film is that it's definitely a slow burn in style, but it didn't feel long.
Yes, it felt incredibly well paced. I felt the entire time where it was like, oh no, we're here now. Oh, we're at the next part now. Like, everything felt very logical and a nice, simple progression. I didn't feel pretentious at all, like so many other directors might want to try. He didn't monologue on some absurd like rant about why he wanted
Or
to
like,
do the
or like
procedure.
trying to justify it or something.
Yeah.
Or like you mentioned earlier, there's a long ass car scene where he's bringing the victim, or she's bringing the victim, but in the part where he like does that to her, it's like quicker.
Yeah, because we got to get back to this point. We got an hour and 30 minutes.
So even when you have those scenes that are longer, it's almost contrasted by like something else that's done quicker.
And I want to get, if it's okay, I want to get to my main thing about the movie.
Okay.
I'm hoping Alex will be able to join us for this because it's kind of the most important part of the movie, depending on how you look at it. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the biggest thing, you cannot tell her emotions, obviously, the entire movie because she's wearing a mask.
Yeah, but the eyes.
However, when she's staring at the girls on the operating table, we have no idea if she's scowling with hatred that she's no longer pretty, you know, feeling that self-righteous or not self-righteous, self-pity. She's feeling that self-pity of just like, you know, I used to be as beautiful as you. We don't know how she's feeling, or if she's just morose, sad. We don't know if she's even cruel. Like, I hope he does it soon. I want my beautiful face, like a wicked witch almost, just pouting in it. And those were always my favorite parts of this movie because she looked so beautiful and innocent with that mask on, just sitting in the corner, just oh, it's the creepiest thing in the world. I remember me for Alex said that even like, imagine waking up to this and having this little porcelain doll woman staring at you.
Well,
But we don't know what she actually feels.
well, when she is looking at at the girl, right? What I got from it is she kind of, I guess it is left up to interpretation how she does feel. But what I personally got from it is that she didn't want this to happen to her, this woman right here, because it already happened to her. Like, she doesn't want this to happen to this other girl.
But it's not her choice.
But it's not her choice, but also she does sit over on the couch.
She has become
while
complicit.
she has become, yes.
We can infer a lot though, because she does have these soft longing touches whenever she goes up to the girl at first. And I think maybe she plays with the girl's hair or just kind of caresses her a little bit to be like, ah, sigh, you are so beautiful. I want to look like you again. But we still don't know what the face is saying. And it made me realize how much we rely on the reptile monkey part of our brains to infer by looking at faces. I think people say this a lot, like texting is the worst thing ever. Because you could just be like, okay, to someone on a text and they're like, why is Nick mad at me, man? Not realizing that I literally just do that all the time.
I saw a meme that was like, if say OKAY, don't say okay because okay is scary. And
Exactly.
now you're mad at me.
Okay.
But if I was like this,
Yeah.
okay, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you feel nice. And anyways, I thought she actually mirrors a lot of this, a lot of points in the movie. We've got the love situation with her boyfriend and longing. Obviously, she still cared about her dad to some extent. You know, she cares about the caretaker, the maid nurse that works at the house now. And treats her in a motherly figure, and she's the one that murders her.
I got a question.
Please.
So the doctor is the patient's father. And it's implied that she lost her face in an accident where he was driving.
Yeah.
Is that,
Yes.
we're on the same page about that?
Yes.
Okay. Is all of this for her? So like even his assistant who has a new face, she was more like a test run for him to eventually be able to do this for his daughter? Or is this just by happenstance already a thing that he's doing? And then his daughter loses her face?
If I can assume, I believe the assistant had a more superficial defiguring of the face. Maybe a facial burn, like something where it's maybe this quarter of her face. Because if you remember.
So he did try it with her first,
And
but
it was successful.
ultimately the goal was to fix his daughter.
Well, I think he was already
That's
working.
kind of the
this
whole
field.
point
Yeah.
of the whole.
Wait,
thing.
but here's something funny, because I got into the science of it, and it's kind of funny because the science actually aligns, but I don't think the director directly meant to do it that way, because they didn't know the science at the time.
Yeah. Skin grafting.
So in this time period, there were a bunch of stuff like this, and they did used to use a lot of dogs, which is why I thought the dogs were kind of like a lot like, you know, the whole idea of crazy scientists. They used to like grab the head of another dog into another dog's like head body, and it would actually stay alive for like a while,
A couple days, weeks. You know.
yeah, until eventually the head, you know, they rejected each other and they died. In the very beginning of the movie, they bring up the idea of like the way he makes it work at first is they use radiation to kill antibodies, because antibodies is what like rejects the new skin or whatever. So in modern time, now we have better medicine that you have to like continuously take to keep like the antibodies from like
Suppress
rejecting
the immune
the
system.
immune system, right?
Yeah.
But back then didn't have that. However, what's funny is when you get older, your antibodies are actually weaker. So
Wow.
so if you're an older woman, like,
Oh, okay. The
It's
maybe
easier
is
to
a
do.
middle-aged
Holy
woman
shit.
but if you're
That's
a young,
crazy.
if you're a young, perfectly healthy, you
with
know,
a strong immune system, you're gonna reject the skin graft.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's not yours, it's foreign tissue,
Yes.
Yeah.
so your body's just
They
rejecting it.
consider it
Very
cancerous.
And with,
That is, wow, that's
Thank you
crazy.
for that,
yeah.
Dave, that's a lot.
And with the whole like, there was a car accident and they both had deformity in their face and everything. My first thought was like, they're all a family. Like that's the mom, that the doctor's the dad, and that's not how it is. But that's what my first thought was, because like, why would they all be in a car together? So that's how I felt about it.
Wait, are you saying they both lost their faces in the same car accident?
No,
Not
the
lost,
maid
but-
did not
No.
lose. The maid nurse did not lose her face in the same.
Yeah, she was someone who had an accident that was
Yeah.
completely unrelated.
She was the first successful graft that the
Yeah.
doctor had performed.
What if the actual mother died in the car crash?
Yeah.
So do y'all think though that he specializes in facial reconstruction because of his daughter?
no, I actually think it's funnier.
Yeah.
I have a head theory. That the face of his assistant, he got
A
from,
head theory?
he got
A
it,
face
he
theory?
got it from his wife.
Oh, that's a whole. level
She
of
was the
disturbing
bad scientist.
No.
No,
His
no.
wife dies.
in the car
And he
crash.
finds someone who already has a face deformity and is like, here, I can give you a new face.
So that's his wife's face?
That's my head theory.
Not
My
just
daughter's
that he
watching
found
this
somebody,
every day.
but I've done a little bit of research on the movie.
Oh,
She's a former nurse of his,
yeah.
and she had a face. I guess she had a face deformity already.
Mm.
So then he tries it on her, and it's successful.
Oh, she didn't have an accident. She had some.
She
kind
already-
of, like,
she already had it
defect.
before.
Or she had like a superficial burn or something.
Okay.
If you remember one of the very first scenes in the movie, he already says, oh gosh, I can't do this multiple cuts of the face and segment it. We have to do this in one entire graph,
Meaning previously he had done it in.
in smaller
sections.
sections.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
leads me to believe maybe she had a burnt face or maybe some sort of what do you call it with the hair lip?
Like a club.
Yeah, a cleft thing,
Yeah.
where he just did a section and it's like, she thought she was hideous, but in reality, with modern day medicine, she would have been fixed like that.
Yeah.
And he just did a section of her face, and she thinks that he is basically her god now, because she made her beautiful again.
I just think it's funny to think that that section came from his wife.
From the wife.
That's interesting.
Here's the thing though, while we're doing the wife thing, if we're going with that theory, it does fit really well with the nurse I'm having an affair with,
Yeah.
who I'm really close and able to beat, and she knows about my murders, et cetera, et cetera. And my wife just coincidentally died about, I don't know, a couple months before you came to work for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing I'm wondering right now though is, so like, sure, you can take someone else's skin, but like, you know, my nose is different from your nose and is different from your nose. So like, not that I want this happen, I'm just saying, for the sake of this,
Uh-huh.
if the mad scientist guy,
Yeah,
my
hypothetically.
dad,
Yeah.
and you know, took like I'm just kind of like caught up in that right now, how like I'm
So
just like,
It
but
wouldn't
my
work.
shape,
It wouldn't
my
work, yeah.
shape,
The
Yes.
face would
my
look
skull.
different,
What-
shaped over a different
Yeah,
skull.
well,
Yeah.
what it seems to be happening in the movie is that this woman is like literally scouting out women
Yeah.
who look,
Have similar
Oh.
bone
yes, look
structure.
like her.
Granted, I agree, I feel like you would end up getting the
It would
the
be
Botox
slightly, yeah.
cat lady kind of look, like the skin's a little too
It wouldn't look the
stretched
same.
on.
You
Yeah.
might have
Yeah,
to,
you
you
get
might
to
have to
miss
like
that
cut
part.
little
It's like-
pieces and like actually like.
Yeah, but that's
Granted,
That's a good point, Laura. It's like not every face would match
Yes.
every skull.
Granted, she is young enough that she would have the years of
Hell
oh,
I'm gonna put it on.
Hell yeah.
God.
she is young enough that she would have the years of cellular reproduction that would eventually mold the face closer to her actual bone structure.
But unfortunately, her antibodies are too strong though.
Oh yeah, she's
That's
too
another
strong,
point too,
man.
is like, we were talking about Neef was talking about how the movie didn't get into like, how is this possible,
Yeah.
and get hung up on the sci-fi. To lend to that point, it didn't work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like it rejected it. So it's like, even in the canon, like this is like not a good science, like, you know, it's not like he did any miracle work.
Well,
It's
But
not
it's
working.
like he believes it's going to work at some point, so he's going to keep doing it.
Well, but
Yeah.
the funny thing is he was semi-right though. He just didn't have the right tech for it.
Also,
Yeah.
And he also didn't understand that it had to be a continuous thing.
do you know
So
how
he thought that as long as you attack the antibodies when you're doing it, that's what you have to do. But in reality, what happens now is you have to continuously take the medicine to keep like attacking the antibodies.
Okay.
Also, do you know what skin grafts are made out of now? Fish.
Oh, really?
Fish skin grafts. One of my brother has his entire chest boiled, where he had to have a graft, and one of my close friends has his entire shoulder boiled from a pasta situation. And
Pasta.
it is
Careful, Izzy.
That's when you have a
That's-
run-in with the mafia.
and by the way, burns are the most painful thing in the world. They had him on a morphine drip and he was crying, just like, can I have more? And the nurse was like, if we give you any more, you're gonna die. You're going to die.
Wow.
Because you can't stop the neurological signals going to the brain.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a skin graft and it's not fish, but it is also fish. And it's the weirdest thing in the world. And they put this salmon texture like on your skin, and it helps to promote the actual live tissue. It's the
Wow.
weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it works. His skin looks like it's weird. He looks like a 40-year-old man, like on the rest of his body, and then his arm actually looks like a teenager,
Nice.
Wow.
like soft. It's like brand new skin.
Soft brother.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that's-
I wonder if that'll be like a future like
Oh,
anti-aging thing,
complete thing.
Yeah.
you know?
I'm just gonna get into the fish bath real quick.
That would be a nice.
I'm
like,
imagining,
arc on,
like,
old
dude,
lady who keeps
like
going after
the-
young women.
Yeah.
The
Honestly,
Harkonnen in the
Yeah.
bath.
Some
Yeah.
salmon juice spilled on my register today and it was awful though, so I just like don't know how they're gonna get past that part of it.
No, just
Yeah,
kill
it's
younger women.
stinky.
Yeah, and I think we should just kill younger women.
Yeah, I agree.
No, no,
I
no.
agree.
You hear that, ladies? Stop with the retinol. Put some salmon juice on your face.
Yeah,
You'll be
come
fine.
to my register.
I mean, I do think that there also, maybe it's stretch a bit, but there also is a bit of a commentary on the sort of like the superficial nature.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because like, one of the things I think that's interesting is that as a character that literally doesn't have a face, it's hard, as you were talking about, it's hard to understand exactly where she's coming from. I think this is a big part of the movie is that a lot of the tension comes from you're hoping she'll act a certain way, but you can't tell where she is. So
Yeah,
the finale is that she acts the way you wanted, and there's this big like, this feels great.
that's
I would,
definitely a big part of the movie is you don't know this character. You
Right.
don't know her at all.
And then
And you hope she's a good person.
Yeah.
right. But I think then the ultimate finale of the movie is that she is a good person without a face at all. So she never needed
Yeah.
she never needed that. That
Maybe
was-
she went to her boyfriend after that.
Yeah, maybe, and
And he rejected her.
He's like,
because it's the
he's like, ah, you
1950s.
freak, get away from me.
but I think that ties into the father character, who's the mad scientist. The way he wants to be so controlling means that this is his vision of how things have to go. That doesn't mean that it's true.
Mhm. I know Alex had his jump scare. For me, the jump scare is when she is sitting in the laboratory and the girl wakes up and looks over and she's just staring at her.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna be-
creepy as
I'll
fuck.
say, it's not actually scary. Please have some empathy, people. Imagine you grew up in the 1940s, 50s, and you just like got out of your bed and Lazy's just sitting on the other side of the room, just
With his bald head.
with his new
Yeah.
bald
If
head.
you're used to it, it wouldn't be scary, but like you don't know. You wake
Well,
up
it's-
on a stretcher, you look over and
Yeah.
that's sitting next to you. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what
Absolutely
you're
fucking
talking
terrifying.
about is more like the like you're a dad and you're laying in your bed and all of a sudden you hear
And you look over and the
you look
little
over and
girl's
the
on the
little
side
girl's
of the
just
bed.
staring at you. Yeah.
But yeah.
I think if her boyfriend actually, or fiance or whatever, if he actually like loved her, he would still
Hmm.
have, like, he would never have wanted her. I mean, you can kind of, he seems like he's like a decent guy, whatever that means anymore. But it did seem like they were at least trying to convey that, and they didn't, they didn't tell him. They didn't give him the opportunity to, he had no involvement in that at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was like, yes to her dad, like she needs a new face. Like
Yeah.
he didn't know he
yeah.
thought she died.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was,
You think
he
she's
was
dead the whole
immoral. The police came to him and he was like, wait a minute, that seems kind of like my boss. And he was completely willing to sell his boss out because he thought the boss. was
Well, she had
doing
just
something
talked to him on
creepy.
the phone. Like she keeps calling him and not saying anything.
Yeah.
But that time she said his name.
Jock or Frank or whatever.
I
his
forget.
name
And
was.
then he's like, oh shit, she's alive. And then he starts putting things together.
Everything
He's like, this
together.
has to do with my boss.
Hmm.
Like he quickly like is figuring things out.
So he does seem like a moral individual.
And the fact
think
that
he-
he's
I think
wanting
he-
to figure it out and all, I'm like,
I think he
maybe-
like
maybe
I mean,
he's-
you're saying any decent guy, I would say like
No,
as long as you're not a complete fucking
no,
piece of shit.
there's a
Yeah.
line. There's a line because it's also coming at his cost.
What do you mean?
He works for the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
the institute is going to be shut down.
What are we talking about here?
Okay.
What are we
Because
talking
he's not just
Alright.
okay.
Yeah.
He's directly works under the guy. He's directly taking his boss down that could like jeopardize his like career. And
If he
work.
did what?
But I would also say there's
If
always
he tells the cops, it could somehow be connected to him.
there is always a thing
Yeah,
in
you
any
have to do
narrative
that.
too.
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying that's not the
He
right thing
wants
to
to-
do. I'm just saying it gets a little more than just.
he
but-
knows
no
he works
question.
under the dude. He's like that is familiar. That sounds like my boss. I'm not gonna say anything just yet because I know I work under him. So if they just go ahead and just arrest him, then like I probably won't have to.
That makes
Well,
sense
they
if
have-
you don't 100% know. If you're just
Right.
skeptical about it,
Right.
if you know that's the case, there is no
Well,
question.
Maybe he's
You
hoping
have
it's
to do
not
that.
that way. Maybe he's hoping it's not that.
I do think
But-
there is always an interesting thing in any narrative where, as the audience, you 100% know,
But he doesn't.
but there's
Yeah.
no way he would. It's as far as he knows, she's dead, and he's just getting random phone calls that maybe sounded
He
like,
probably thinks he's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a bit of a like that is really going out on a limb for him.
Okay.
But he cares
To be
enough that he's still
like-
willing to risk his job just to like.
Like I'll risk my own well-being
On a
over a
hunch.
For the
chance.
chance,
Yeah.
for the chance that she's still alive, for the chance that, yeah, for the chance that, you know, something is going wrong, like, I will risk my career, but like, not to such an extent that my boss just gets immediately arrested.
It's like, dude, I didn't do anything. What are you talking
Well,
about?
so isn't that scene where he starts piecing it together and also where that girl who got in trouble for stealing gets like enlisted to help? Like that's like with a cop there. So he's probably there when he's realizing it, like they don't show all of that conversation, but that's probably what, like, he wants to get to the bottom of it. He's hoping his fiance is still alive and he wants to save her. And he will not be liable maybe because that cop will see, like, hear him realize and tell him the truth or what he thinks might be the truth.
He doesn't
Like,
know
right?
what's
'Cause
going on.
that's what happened. So,
Well,
We have context that he doesn't.
I do is,
Yeah.
I
that
do
he
think,
doesn't what?
We know, as a viewer, we know things that he doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a interesting thing, which actually goes back to the eyes wide shut thing of doctors specifically. So I think one of the things about medical is that it takes a very long time to become, like years of school,
Sure, about
lots
8
of
years.
money. There's a massive investment into the career, which means that to some extent, doctors are compromised in terms of like, oh, I'm gonna take a stand. It's like, that's way more of a risk than many other professions,
Yeah, it's not like one of us is.
right? Where it's like,
Okay.
like if you lose your license as a doctor, that's the end of your entire life. You'll
Okay.
never recover from your debt. You'll never recover from the like decade it took to get there.
And
Unless
by
you're-
acting in good faith
Right.
to get to the bottom of what's going on, he protected his career in himself.
But
Makes sense. Unless you're a Nazi doctor.
yeah, then you
Then
just get taken by the
Then you
US.
just get taken
Yeah.
So
in Operation Paperclip.
you got to talk about the police for a second. I
Yeah.
want to talk about some good old misogyny. I really thought the police were going to keep her address and her phone number and everything. So he was going to hit on her later. I didn't
Yeah,
realize they were going to
That's
do a
what I
honey.
thought.
I didn't realize they were going to do a honey trap with her. I actually thought the older police officer was just
You're
like,
right, you're right.
yeah.
No, you're completely right. They weren't.
They wanted the phone number, right?
Yeah, but not for the honey trap.
Yeah, exactly. He was just like, "Oh, you're a young police officer. You get that address and go harass this poor woman."
You know what's
Like,
interesting is that's probably like us in a modern time looking at that. Because it's like we're aware of like abuse of power,
Yes.
police now. Whereas like then it's probably not nearly as much
It's just
of a
boys being boys
consideration.
kind of like
Yeah.
situation.
Not that it wasn't
Okay.
happening, but we're just very
Right.
much aware of it now.
Yeah.
I do wonder too, not that that wasn't exactly what was happening, but there also might be differences in terms of things that's like databases.
Mhm.
They might not have a database, so it might be like that's how they're keeping track of repeat offenders.
I
and this
did
kind of
feel,
They have to physically write everything out.
yeah.
Yeah, so it might be like, all right, just get,
Yeah, the
Get some
database was
information.
terrible. The
And then we-
database was bad in like the 70s.
The
Oh.
database is whatever they just
Yeah,
fucking put on
so-
paper.
So the first time I watched it, because I watched it 2 times, like I said,
Hmm.
the first time I watched it,
yeah,
I thought exactly what he said, right? The second time I watched it, it was more like, oh, I think they're just trying to like, they think that maybe this information will be useful, maybe if they're gonna do a honey trap later, kind of thing, because he was like, speaking of blue eyes, what am I gonna do with the one I have over here,
yeah.
Mhm.
kind of thing. So
It was definitely, no matter what the intention was, it was definitely shady, right? He's like,
Yeah,
let
it
her
felt
go,
shady.
yes.
but make sure you get her address first. What she doesn't realize is she doesn't have to give that
Yeah.
information.
Right.
But she doesn't have to.
But
give
she
the
doesn't
right
understand the
information.
law the way that they do.
I mean,
Yeah.
going beyond that, she didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
They lied to her. They were like, if you don't do this, we're
Yeah.
gonna fucking put you in
So it's
jail.
not exactly putting the police in a good light,
No,
right?
No, it's a horrible lie.
No, they could tell this woman was stupid.
Yeah,
But that was the thing.
and they took advantage of her.
Yeah.
My mind blown for the whole movie. The one thing that I was just
They
like,
almost got
I
her killed.
can't understand this was when he asked for her address, and I was like, she could just say anything right there. She could just be like,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, blah blah blah.
She gave
blah.
her address.
She actually gave her
Yeah.
address, and that blew my mind.
Crazy.
I was like, no ID, no anything, just this woman's word, and she's a known thief too. Like, you just arrested her for thievery. You know she's a liar in a thief kind of situation. I'm like, I can't imagine a world where we live that. I go everywhere and people are immediately ID or anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We are such a police state at this point in a
Yeah.
way that I can't even imagine. I know it's a
It's
small
kind of
little
because,
detail,
like,
but
of people like her giving it up at a whim.
mhm.
Like, that's how we get where we are, is
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, I'll just give them my driver's license out way.
Yeah, because you know what happens if you don't give the police your driver's license? They can actually just detain you. Now, they have to have probable cause in the normal
Well,
fashion.
Even if you were to hypothetically rent a storage unit, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you have to present your driver's license. Why? You're not the police. Like, why do I have to do that? But it's like, well, that's just our policy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, if
but-
you want to do this, then you have to do this, right?
Yeah, but how many people actually drove back then?
It's very different
Oh,
time.
they
like,
were talking
it's a
about
very
buses a
different
lot
thing.
in that movie.
Yeah.
So maybe people just didn't care. That wasn't a
Didn't
thing.
have ID.
Walkable
Yeah.
cities.
That's a good point. No one had ID in the first place.
Which,
I think also
ahead.
as a like detectives, it would be more like you're just trying to get information. So it'd be more
Yeah.
like if there was this woman who stole something, it's like, well, I have her number, let me call her up and like I'll just try to get some information.
Mm.
As opposed to this like it isn't the weird like as far as I'm aware, it isn't the weird like police state database of like constantly trying to track everyone. It's more just like detectives need an amount of information to work off of. So anytime somebody goes, it's like, well, leave me some information in case something comes up.
It seems like a reasonable thing. It seems so reasonable that I might do it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's it. You know, you
Well-
gave me a reason. I will give you my phone number.
Well,
I
here-
will give you my address.
Here's another question then. What do you think that the police and that aspect of the movie had to do with the overall story? Like,
That's a
why do you
good
think they're
question.
necessary?
They're a narrative plot mover.
Hmm.
That's all they are. We need some sort of tension to start getting the doctor
Okay.
into a situation where
Hmm.
he is making mistakes or he slips up or the police are zoning in on him. We have to raise the tension.
I don't think I
somehow.
disagree with that, but the police end up being a really interesting
Incompetent.
part of the movie. Like, their
It's-
investigation ends up being like a really
Hmm.
key, like those characters end up being very, like, they get a lot of screen time, right?
Yeah, but they're also
Well,
like,
it was
I hear
a
you. It's
crime.
just that
It was a crime slash suspense movie, and you kind of have to have the police.
Hmm.
And also, to the point y'all were talking about before with rights and what have you, this was also France in 1940 something or whatever. So you got a couple of aspects where the law could have been completely different. You also have, you're assuming it's a small town, so the
This is
cop
very-
kind of know who everybody is, and also they got to move the story along.
Yeah.
Kind of leads to the whole thing, or lends to the whole idea that they don't want to get lost in details. It's like, okay, here's the cops. They're the good guys, quote unquote, to come back up the protagonist, if you will,
I mean, they don't
you know,
really-
or the victim.
Yeah. No, Neve's got a point, is like, it's a crime story, it's like a murder mystery. So of course, there's a detective, like that is how you tell this story.
That's
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
it
but
with,
but you need them incompetent enough that at the end of the day, it's her, the main character, that like.
They actually didn't accomplish anything.
I was say that scene where he's they're leaving, it's the young doctor with the two officers going to the car, and the older doctor keeps going and hiding around, but you can see his belly like sticking out everywhere. It's hilarious to me. He keeps looking so suspicious.
Now, I wouldn't say they accomplished nothing, because I would say they accomplished making the doctor so on edge that he, like,
Hmm.
he does make
Yeah, he's
enough
sloppy.
mistakes to be,
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
they get him out of the way.
yes.
Hmm.
I was about to say, the big plot device, I don't even want to tell me, he literally gets out of the room because of the doctors at the
Yeah,
institution,
true.
which gives the daughter just enough time for the angel demon on her shoulder argument of helping this girl out, which gets her out of the cuffs, which makes her stab the maid nurse. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for the police officers, the doctor would have never left, and the operation would have been well, successful in the way of removing her face. We wouldn't have known the actual result, I guess, but. So no, they actually were very important to the plot.
Yeah, that ended up being a big part of the story was the police investigation.
Okay. Also, that bus schedule. Yeah, random women in Paris at like what 2 a.m. Yeah, just go down the street 5 miles and get on the bus.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
this is a
15-minute
normal
walk.
thing.
It's fine.
Definitely a different context in our current world,
Yeah.
right? Like it's it all like we all look back at that and like, wow, how naive, and like because of exactly what happens, right? Like there's a good reason that everyone is more skeptical, and it's because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's a large part because of film, and also a large part because like that stuff actually does happen.
I want to say back then it was hundreds of thousands of women successfully rode buses all the time with no issues.
A large part of it's probably film.
I would never personally, as a young individual, just male or female, walk down the streets of Nashville at 2 a.m. It really depends on where I'm walking.
Definitely depends where you're at.
I mean, on Second Avenue, I've immediately gotten out of my car and had people be like heroin, coke, like trying to sell it to me right there. I'm like, this is like Broadway. Like this is like the normal part of town. And people are just trying to sell me hard drugs.
Oh,
now.
Broadway's real bad after
Yeah.
like 2 a.m.
But also, I can't speak to Paris, but I know like if you're in Manhattan, it's been years since I've been there, so maybe it's changed now. But 2 in the morning is not a weird time to be out.
Oh, it's busy,
See, Nashville is
Yeah,
like if you're on
which is-
Broadway after 2, it's like you're
Right.
in danger.
But I think that also plays into the whole like it's very hard to get a feel for that because it's 1960s when the movie was made, so either it's contemporary to that time or slightly before, and it's in Paris.
I
which
saw
don't
the
really
book
have
was written
frame
in like
reference.
55, and then the movie adapt was like not that long after. So
like,
it's pretty modern setting what
But
we're
it's-
seeing.
it's not a like I had a friend that lived out in New York for like years, and he'd come visit in Colorado, and he'd be annoyed because like why do things close here? It's so annoying.
Because no one's there.
It's like
There
yeah,
is
because there's
no
no
one out.
yeah, because it's not. Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, like this is why this place sucks. Can't
Yeah,
wait to get
you're
back
right.
here.
Because major cities have an entire ecosystem that has to clean, ship product in the middle of the night. This is not even the people getting off work on the second shift who have to do something.
Last thing, like at least pre-COVID in Manhattan, like it would be like restaurants don't close. It's not a thing. It's not like it's like, oh, it's 5 in the morning, nothing's open. It's like, what are you talking about? We're in Manhattan. Everything's open. It's open all night long. Like there's not a it closes at a time. What are you talking about? So do you think I don't know if Paris is like that. I know Manhattan's like that, but it could definitely be a thing where it's like, no, there's enough of a nightlife there that's not unusual.
Yeah, but then we're going back to the whole time period too. Like I don't know if that was as common.
Time period and location are factors here.
Hmm.
We don't know enough about the time period or about Paris.
Well, anyways, any last?
Oh, David's ready to end the podcast. Well, this is David's podcast, so
Yeah.
David's ready to wrap it up.
Where
So
was Jack the Ripper in London?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
going in.
we end when we say so, David, not you. Ooh.
So yeah, final thoughts for me. Just a very pleasant movie. I thought it was enjoyable.
It's really like, relaxing. You can't fall asleep. Just
Not
nice.
stressful, no expectation. I just had a good time. Pretty decent soundtrack. A couple of the songs are flops, but there are some real.
It's really only
bangers.
Really good song.
It's really only one. That's
Yeah, and the rest of them are
Yeah.
just the.
Yeah,
some of the
one
best
song,
feel
everything else was
states.
great.
They just overplayed that one song. Whatever
Yeah, it was campy. It was
Yeah.
silly.
So-
It was. I liked it. It was not what they were going.
Or like I like
Tried to
it.
do.
I liked it the first time, but then they overplayed.
Yeah.
No, actually, one more
Yes.
thing. The doves at the end. He did bring it up. It looks like people were just throwing doves to try to get them
Yeah.
back into the
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
picture,
I
man.
remember that.
Yeah.
The first time Neve said that, I was like, yeah, one of those doves hit that tree.
Yeah. They can't say no animals were harmed in the making of the
It
film.
literally at the very, it's almost the very last one you see. I swear to God, because right as you're thinking, it kind of looks like they're tossing them back. Somebody hummed one because it looked like it smacked the tree. It was definitely not. I was like, damn, dude.
I mean, it had a really good ending though. Like the dogs attacking.
Oh, so satisfying
Yeah.
watching those dogs. actually attack someone.
Yes, and then
Like,
they like there was too many of them, so they started attacking each
Each
other.
other, yeah, they did. They were fighting each other.
that scene was so gratifying. That's exactly what you want to happen to this guy. And it was the dogs that did it, the things you really feel bad about. The
The
women,
fact that
okay.
the dogs,
The
I
dogs,
noticed,
you feel really bad for, right?
Yeah, they're innocent.
And
I know-
they're truly innocent.
one of the things, if you notice, at the end when the dogs were like attacking each other, and I noticed each of the different dogs, the way they were acting. Remember I was talking about one looked sedated,
Yeah.
and I mean, you got to think back then, you may not, I mean, who knows if they had the budget to get somebody that had trained dogs or knew how to even train dogs. So obviously these dogs are like, some people they knew as dogs or whatever, because they all acted like just kind of regular dogs will. Like a couple of them when he was getting attacked, obviously it's the stunt dude or whatever, and he's, able to get them to attack him. The excitement that they're having is because some of the dogs are not used to that, and they will naturally do that. They will start biting at each other because they're not certain that it's an attack on something. They're domesticated, so they're not looking at it like a wolf pack taking down prey.
And now they're just
They
playing.
just get all excitable, and that was really kind of one of those things with all movies. You can get little tells about their budget or their ability, and it's kind of funny. At the same time, it's kind of like, well, who knows exactly how well the animals were treated. But one of the
Probably not
dogs,
birds.
yeah, I mean, definitely with that, one of the dogs that he really interacts with in the film very much looks sedated.
That's sad. I don't like to hear that.
And I mean, it's a known thing that happens. They say even at like, the Sea Worlds and all those places, when you go and pet the dolphins in the tanks, they've all been sedated because they can't let them be
Yeah, too much.
in
It's
full
much of a
functionality that close to you because they're freaking wild and strong. So,
I mean, you know how they
Pull
are.
them into the water and
Rub their
just.
bellies and they see your best friend, man.
Who can make a dolphin sound?
Do you think she died when she walks in the woods? Do you think she's gonna commit
I
suicide?
think she had died eventually. Maybe it was old age,
Insanity.
50
like-
years later.
Yeah. Just
I think
like,
she
in
died
the
at some
woods.
point. Yeah.
Well, she already wanted to kill herself.
Yeah.
I think she went and found her boyfriend, and
I
they
think
lived
so.
happily
I
ever
think he beat
after.
her because she.
And it's
thought
a
she was
happy
girl.
ending.
I mean, the thing is, he's a nice enough guy that I think he would like.
Yeah, I think all of that got exposed, and they're like almost like Betty and Barney Hill, like reluctant celebrity. Like everyone knows their story, even though they don't really want it to be out. It's
She
like
puts the brown paper bag
Yeah.
over her head. and-
yeah, I think they're like mega celebrities for their story after that, and they
I
live
mean,
happily
he was
ever
pretty
after.
handsome. I don't know what she's gonna do. We're gonna have to do something with that.
They find another crazy scientist.
I
to
mean,
grab
another 10, 15 years and everything. Like, the
Yeah.
story
Look, she
always
puts
died
the
fine.
mask
Technology
on. She
develops.
puts makeup on the mask. It's fine.
Just go back in time with a lot of scenes.
Kinky.
Yeah, yeah,
Back
Baby,
to the future with a
put
lot
the
of
mask
scenes.
back
yes,
on.
yes.
But double plastic wrap it so that the juice does not spill out.
I wanna
Wow,
get kissed.
everyone loves that idea. So smart.
Mm.
One thing that I remembered, Michael Myers, the director, said it was inspired by her mask.
Oh, just the
Yeah.
emptiness and everything, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
from Psycho?
doctor.
No, Michael Myers from Halloween.
Yes.
How old is Halloween?
1970s
It's like way newer, but I was
Yeah.
just saying the
Yeah.
director of that movie.
of Halloween.
Oh, it was inspired by
John
Eyes
Carpenter.
Without a
Yeah,
Yes.
to
Face.
have that clear like.
I had that backwards. I
Yeah,
understand.
John
now.
Carpenter wanted the Halloween Michael Myers mask to look like the Eyes Without a Face.
Like where it's just a clear.
Wait,
So
Halloween
Brandon,
is
you were
John
saying-
Carpenter?
Yes.
it's really strange because you know what the Michael Myers mask was?
Yeah, like.
The Michael Myers mask was a Captain Kirk.
Sorry,
I know what you guys put a mask on and make out.
Clear face
Oh.
Get a mask, you too.
So
The
Raven,
Michael
you were
Myers.
saying?
I okay. I guess I'll go. Sorry. Like I said, I did a little bit of research. It led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole because something that I read was that the doctor was actually based on a real plastic surgeon that like was very prominent in like the development of plastic surgery to begin with. He founded I don't even know his name. I don't remember his name, but he founded the French Society of Plastic Surgery.
Oh, that's French.
So
It's based on that guy.
yes,
Love that.
That's language.
loosely.
Huh. So John Carpenter made Halloween.
How do you not know? He did the
Yes.
little synth part at the beginning.
I've never seen Halloween. But I love John
So
Carpenter.
now you're gonna watch Halloween.
Well,
Yes.
I've never wanted to see Halloween,
But now you want to
I
watch
do.
Halloween.
We're
Yeah.
gonna watch Halloween 3 because it doesn't have the regular police. It has the Halloween police.
I mean, we haven't got to start with
Does
one
this
here.
club only
No.
watch scary movies?
No.
No,
We don't only watch scary
No.
movies.
We're
Next
doing-
month we're watching Coraline.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a scary.
It's kind of
movie.
scary.
In aesthetic only, not in reality.
What was that movie I suggested again? Yeah, that's what I thought.
We are not the horror exploitation gorse podcast here. I chose the safest.
I
option.
brought it up last week.
I know you did. I know.
Anyway,
We did it. We did
What
it.
was it?
Yeah.
I guess it's lost.
Yeah,
I guess
Jake-
it's
Jake keep
lost.
them.
It's okay. You can tell me later.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Only the girls.
Yep. This is a girl.
Yeah, because she would
conversation.
save me, and none of you got. No, I'm just kidding. Would you guys save me if that happened?
Well, what am I saving you from? That-
Wow.
That
Alex
From a
doesn't
dog?
even hesitate. Just shakes his
I
head.
would- I would fight a dog. I would fight a dog on television to save a girl. I'm not getting in the ocean.
I think he just wants to fight a dog.
What if,
Yeah,
the-
he just wanna fight dogs.
what if the dogs are in the right though?
Look, if a kangaroo comes up to me with that brute like kangaroo thing that they do and everything, I have always kind of wanted to fight a kangaroo.
Why don't you just hug him? Just bear hug him.
I'm just.
They
Oh,
drown pit
so
bulls.
would you
Those
save me
kangaroos
or
like
are you in
take-
the right?
No, it's
So he's
all-
gonna grab
Oh,
you. and
am I
just
in
go
the
to
right?
Yeah.
It's a
For
whole-
having a messed up face I didn't even do myself,
Yeah.
and just being like bullied into the life she was bullied into.
Not my problem. I can't
Who's
pay my
attacking you in
bills.
this?
Who's attacking me?
Yeah, what were you being saved from? What is it?
I mean,
What is the scenario?
I have to make sure the doctor doesn't know me, the other woman doesn't know me.
she's not allowed to
Just,
talk to her
like,
fiance. and she
drag you
clearly wants
out.
that more than the face.
I would.
Just like come to your window and come downstairs.
Okay.
I think
quiet.
the real moral of the movie is if your fiance dies, you don't let that slide. You
Yeah.
go to her father's house. You
Immediately search the premises.
Search
Make sure there's no
premises,
fresh
yeah.
graves, no weirdness going on.
like,
Yeah.
no.
No very obvious bookshelves where there's screaming dogs,
Yeah.
a literal army of dogs in the background.
The issue-
By the way, we never talked about that. The army of dogs, I don't think.
Hmm.
There are like
Yeah.
100 dogs hidden in a small room and you can hear them from a mile away.
Very,
Yeah.
very Resident Evil.
That's actually
What
incredible.
we also
the,
didn't
the
talk
mansion
about
with the dogs.
is just how charismatic he is as a doctor, which makes people trust him.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think it's the opposite actually.
Or life.
The
is.
little boy.
Yeah. He's very like good with the little boy. He's good with everyone else.
It's
But
it does seem like though with his patients, but he doesn't have any actual relationships other than the one woman who just does whatever he said.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's not close with her. She just feels like she owes him.
No, he's very much an overlord. He comes in, he tells this person to do something, and then he's like, give me the results later, and he leaves.
Yeah.
He does keep a healthy distance from most of the patients, except for the little boy. He was very like, everything's cool, right? Kind of, he did have a little bit of sympathy there.
and we can also talk about he is seemingly a world-renowned doctor at that point, and he has a mansion, and he is rich, right? So what do rich people do when they're bored?
Rape children.
Whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck they want.
anything, literally anything.
I can't.
And it's-
Sorry
it's
for being so
usually
blunt
fucked
about
up.
it. but-
I
It's
can't
usually
believe they were
fucked up.
inspired by Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Because of the
You
name.
wait.
Oh.
The dude's got secret rooms. He's got an army of dogs, weird sex toy dungeon that he does genital mutilation or whatever, and then he kidnaps women. He is definitely secret society. Goes back to Eyes Wide Shut. We're full circle. Right?
Yeah.
I will say, I do think there is an interesting thing to the movie though, where they give you just enough where you can see where the doctor feels like it's a noble goal.
Yeah.
Right, where you understand where in his mind he is a great person, even though everyone around him that is like has this sense of a normal person morally understands this is wrong.
There is that small segment where they do think that the operation is a success, and he starts talking to his daughter in an actual loving way, like, no, we can give you a new name, we can get you a new life, you can be happy again.
Even if he's successful though, what does that mean? You can kill people to take their face? But that's still not a good.
Well,
Yeah.
lazy, apparently we
Yeah.
we do all
because
types of
if
things
he
for
does-
stem cells now. I
now-
mean, do we want to go in that
If he takes
conversation?
If he takes
Oregon
this,
black market.
Organ black market in
Wait.
China.
but
Please.
if he takes
You don't need
this
to kill
science and this
somebody.
discovery to
Well, for the baby.
to
kind.
the greater
No.
scientific community, they're gonna ask him, well, how did you come to that conclusion? And he's gonna have to make something up.
He's gonna have to make something up.
If we're gonna get into this, you can get stem cells during pregnancy
From
without
the
terminating the
umbilical cords
presidency
and-
or
Yeah.
killing the mother.
I understand. I was
Not-
making more of a joke of like what people would actually make money on, and
Right, but
more the idea that I do agree with Raven, like, well, how did you come to this? Oh, I did it on dogs. Okay, you're still gonna have a human trial though. Well, actually, no, because apparently you didn't need human trials back then. I was just doing a research on fat diet versus sugar diets back in the 1970s or whenever, and there were no laws protecting studies. You had no citations. You provided no peer-reviewed evidence,
well,
and you could just say, you know, pretty much snake oil. You could snake oil things all the time.
I mean, that's still kind of the case.
Yeah. Well, no, you pay for it now for the peer review though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
All I'm saying is in the 1960s, 1955, you could easily be like, no, it just works on humans, and people would actually probably believe him. Just believe him. All he needs is one citation of it actually working. So
Yeah, look at this two-headed dog I made.
yeah,
whoa.
Jack and Jeremy, two-headed dog.
All right. Well, does anybody have any final thoughts?
No.
Anything?
Good movie.
Anything?
I give it 8 out
Where
of
we-
10 lazies.
Where we at? Simply where we at?
There,
I
Alright,
miss
well-
I miss when movies were good.
Amen.
there is one thing that hasn't been touched on that I think Neve needs to comment on,
Mm.
and that's Billy Idol.
Oh, Billy
Mm.
Idol.
Yes.
Billy Idol, you know, in or not within context, needs to be commented on.
And commented on.
Commented on.
Yeah.
This is your segment, Neve.
Neve, we need
He's
you to
humming
talk.
it in his head.
Neve, we need you to talk about Billy Idol.
Oh,
Neve,
yeah.
we need you to talk about Billy Idol.
Where you at?
Eyes without a face, Billy Idol.
Eyes without a fear.
Eyes without a face. When
Yeah, so
I
Neve
take your
Was telling me about
face.
a song called Eyes Without a Face prior to watching the movie. And he's like, well, there's no way this isn't in reference to this movie. And then we watch the movie, it's like, okay, this absolutely is. And then we watch the music
actually,
video.
what it is I was like, huh, that's pretty wild because the song is kind of like a standard 80s we kind of break up or you're annoying me girl song. And it's kind of cold, so I was like, I don't know that it would have to do with that. But then when I found out it was French, the background girls in the song sing Eyes Without a Face in French.
C'est la sous le visage
No.
or something?
Sans visage. Les sous sans visage.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, any references reading murder books, you know, in the song, it's kind of not a, it doesn't seem like a real deep song. He sounds like, you know, one of those rocker songs where he's on the road and the girl's calling him and bugging him, but he makes these slight references. And I was like, you know, it probably is. And it's not so much him writing about the movie. It was just a really cool sound, you know,
Catch line.
title. Yeah, the cat, yeah, and to take it, you know, he took it to a different level of talking about a person that, you know, their relationship is dwindled and the fire is gone, and he can see that in her eyes it's not there anymore, and so he's saying that she's just become eyes without a face, you know,
Yeah.
and that like this woman is robotic to him now, you know, and um so, you know, it's really interesting, but yeah, you know, it was cracking me up because we were constantly singing that and
Yeah.
rewriting it for the movie.
No, I just came up with a little conspiracy theory that he's literally writing it in the it's like a sequel to the movie. Like he's writing it about like it's from the perspective of the guy.
The
And-
fiance.
Okay.
Yes, the fiance.
Ooh.
And you know, she's come back and you know, whatever.
Right. That's kind of interesting.
Could be.
Yeah. I also love the music video with its Kabbalistic like secret society, random fires and burning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, Billy and Steve Stevenson doing their greatest '80s. Billy and Steve Stevenson.
Yeah. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. '70s and '80s was a different time, Neve.
Yep, the great track though. It's always been one of my favorite Billy Idol songs.
Yeah.
Definitely a solid one.
It might be a full flavor cover.
Okay. Okay.
We might have to do that.
Oh,
'Cause-
you gotta sing it in French. The back.
Oh, I
Get
can
Raven
do
on the
that.
backup
We're good.
vocals,
I
yeah.
got you. I got you.
Yeah, there you go, Neve. She's got the backup vocals.
That's
I've
what I
already
had in
practiced.
mind already.
Hell yeah.
Lazy.
Well, next month we have Coraline, picked by Raven right here. So look forward to that. And then does anyone want to plug anything again before we wrap up?
This month's book.
Yeah, next week, David Penna recommended the book for this month. We're talking about I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I've read it twice now and also seen the movie. Have mixed feelings about the book, but absolutely super solid choice for book club.
Just to talk about it, you know.
A book to talk about, that's got to be up there. Like, not one of my favorite books. Books to talk about, top of the list. Great choice. Very excited to talk about that with you next week. Probably next. It's the 29th. I think that's next Wednesday. Yeah, very excited about that. That's a really interesting book. So if you're watching this, read the audiobook or read the book
It's not that.
or watch the movie. I don't care. And then join us next week to talk about that.
Did we decide that I was gonna pick one of the next books in the next
Yeah, you
couple
can.
months? Did we decide on Plague Dogs, Shardik, or what did I
We were
say?
talking about Richard Adams.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it off camera here in a
Okay.
second.
Maybe a
Um,
preview though, maybe something in the next couple
Next
months.
within the next quarter,
Yeah.
we'll get around to that. I would definitely love to read more Richard Adams. We've already done Watership Down, which is one of my
Yeah.
favorite books.
Wait,
I've
you also
ever
did Plague
read,
Dogs?
Period.
Did you do?
No, we have not done Plague Dogs. We have not done Shardik.
My
So
alternative was John Dies at the End, which is a great.
I would
movie.
definitely like to read more Richard Adams for
Okay.
sure.
We'll talk about it a little bit.
We'll get to that later.
No.
I announced the book club schedule a chunk at a time, like 3 at a time. So next month we're doing Dune Messiah, Dune in June.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're
Dune and June.
continuing our Dune tradition of reading Dune in June. So we have Dune Messiah next month.
And if you've been watching the movies, you should do this one because it's gonna be the
Yeah,
next.
so this is the next Dune film that's coming out
Yeah.
later this year. This is also my favorite book in the Dune series.
Mhm.
I love Dune Messiah. It is so good. Hell yeah.
Oh, God. No,
It's-
Messiah is better than the first book.
Dune is great. Messiah, for me, like people, that's a very controversial one. Some people don't like it.
Mhm.
I'm very excited to talk about Dune Messiah at the end of next month. But next week, we're talking about I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Good choice, by the way. Oh,
Check out Her Organs on Bandcamp. Not the complete song, but the demo's out.
Yes.
You can go stream that now.
You can find that on Raven's Instagram.
And check out Laura Rose's new project, which has a name, but we're not talking about it right now.
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about
Maybe
it.
next
Yeah.
Wednesday.
It's a band without a name.
It's a band.
We do Billy Idol covers and only Billy Idol covers.
Neef has music available. What's the latest single you put out, Neef? Okay.
The latest
Song without a name.
the song without a name. What Lives, the latest one I put out.
Yeah.
But
Great track.
my
Is that on
music,
Spotify, name?
it might not be after DistroKid kills my account because I'm not paying them. So
It is
um,
right now. It might not be.
Check
It
it out
might
right now.
not be. But what I'm going to end up doing is just putting it up on the YouTube myself and putting it on the free sites because y'all know I don't be
Fuck
selling my,
Spotify. They don't pay you
don't be-
anyway.
I don't be selling my music digitally.
Yeah.
Just listen to my stuff for free, and then next time you see me, throw me a couple of dollars.
That's great promo, honestly.
I mean,
The main thing I should plug is Behind the Curtain this Thursday. We have if you're unfamiliar, that's a podcast I do with Evan Carpenter. It's a fake news show.
Mhm.
With real news.
With real news also. There's some real news.
Next thing.
It's the only news that you can trust because we at least tell you when we're lying.
Afterwards.
You'll know
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
At least we tell you when we're lying,
Oh,
unlike
yeah.
every other news source.
And we're the guest for this episode.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Dan.
We have Joel Murray
Mhm.
and Taylor Santangelo
Oh.
of Morbid Orchid. They just put out a new album, Idol Eyes. If you
Solid.
know Morbid Orchid, if you know Taylor, if you know Joel, they've been working very hard on this album for like the last 3 years. It's been in development hell. They did an episode of Rabbit Hole you should also check out last month. And but it's finally out now. You can find it on all the streaming platforms. It is really, really good. It's very heartfelt, it's very raw, and they worked very, very hard on it. So catch us this Thursday for Behind the Curtain with the Morbid Orchid Boys, whom we love very much. And next month we're talking about Coraline from Movie Club. You already said that.
Yes.
Raven, that's Raven's choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're talking about Coraline.
and I would like to compare the book and the movie a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know there was a book.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's not that long.
Neil the gay man.
Yeah.
yes,
Neil Gay Man.
yes.
He wrote that book.
Mhm.
The film's really good. Have you seen Coraline?
No,
Oh.
It's stop motion.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
like clay models that they pick up and move every single time.
Actually,
That's a solid
I had
one.
an
I
idea.
haven't seen it. Yeah.
Maybe because you're here and you picked it, could you give a sort of like almost a pitch of why someone would be interested in seeing this?
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free, but almost like
spoiler free. Oh,
Small
the trailer, like
synopsis.
spoken trailer. Like, why would you want to?
well, it is. I will say this is spoiler free. Okay. It is the journey of a young girl who think like sorry.
I put you on the spot with this. So you can take your time.
It's hard.
Got it.
She takes everything in her life for granted.
Ooh, true.
And she doesn't realize what she has until it's gone.
Yeah,
There you go.
great
Yeah.
trailer for Coraline.
No,
I think you summed it up.
And the
Very well.
tagline for the movie actually is "Be careful what you wish for."
Yeah, yeah, I'm very excited to watch Coraline.
We
as
got
well.
to see the re-release, the IMAX 3D
Yes.
re-release just last year.
Yeah.
And they had an entire extra 30 minutes of apparently, don't quote me, but I think it was not aired footage.
No
Just
shit.
specifically
Yeah.
for the re-release on how they made the puppets.
Oh.
Alice, highly recommend you watch it. Just the fact that they had to make these tiny little coats for the stop animation figures and whatnot. It was painful. They talked regularly about like every day was a nightmare. Like they
Yeah, I
thought
bet.
the entire company was just gonna fall apart.
And
Stop
That's-
motion's super expensive and
That's the
time
thing.
consuming.
like, we could talk about this next time.
Yes.
However, the thing I like about Leica is that they're not just doing it for the money. They are doing this for the art. They don't release very many movies at
Yeah.
all.
It-
But
it
when
was
they
the
do, they
director's
are
passion.
hard hitting
Mhm.
and they're very artistic.
Hell
So
yeah.
you sold me.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
great
here-
pitch for Coraline.
Here's my pitch. Have you watched Nightmare Before Christmas?
No one cares.
No,
Oh,
nobody
okay.
gives a shit.
Boo.
Tim Burton, boo.
What's this hot topic bullshit in my house?
All my whole point was that was made for millennials.
Yeah.
And Coraline is like that, but for like Zoomers.
Yes, but my second pick
Wait, when was
probably
Coraline
would
made?
have been
It was in the
Corpse Bride.
2000, like 2004.
Corpse Bride's
somewhere
good
in there.
too.
So that's still,
It's still millennials. I know. They don't get it, dude. I was still in high school. I was like 12 or 13. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not here for Christmas, that's for boomer.
That's
Okay, Gen X, whatever.
the silent generation. That's what Coraline's
Getting in there.
Our boys back from World War II.
Yeah.
Gotta get their stop animation.
Like, nah, not these youngins from World War II. We're talking about the World War I vets, the Great War.
Yeah. Then we're gonna watch Invaders.
Oh, you mean the
after.
Civil War?
Get my
I
mean the
girlfriend.
Revolution?
Our next watch is Salad Fingers, actually.
There you
Oh,
go.
we're watching Salad
The whole
Fingers.
series.
Yes.
Hubert Cumberdale.
For Movie
Cumberbatch.
Club, we're watching all of Salad Fingers
In one go on new
The
ground.
greatest film work of all time.
on Newgrounds.
Good 40 minutes of it, man. We're good.
All
All
right.
right, all right.
I think with that, we'll
All
wrap
right.
things up.
All right.
All right, you're
Say
lazy.
goodbye,
Wrap it
Alice.
up, lazy.
Bye,
We'll
Alice.
see you in 2 days, Alice, for Behind the Curtain. Bye.
Bye, Alice.
I hate you so much.